Hello folks, today we'll discuss about interesting point about the data. Everybody says they want more data, more sources, more reports, more like screenshots, more spreadsheets, more like expert takes. Sounds smart, right? Usually it just means you're about to drown into a more organized looking swamp. That is basically the heart of this chapter, which I want to tell you from the book The Head Game. And Philip Matz, the author of this book, point is not data is bad. His point is nastier than that. Data becomes dangerous the moment you start worshipping it, because once you do, you begin confusing having a lot of material with actually understanding the problem, and those are not the same thing, not even close. He says the real work starts before the data. First you build the frame, first the question, first the drivers, the few factors that actually matter. Only then do you start sorting the mountain of information. Otherwise, you're like a guy buying a cement wallpaper and kitchen chairs before he's even decided whether he's building a cabin, a villa, or one-bedroom shoebox with delusions. In other words, first clarify requirements, and after start to collect things which fits to that requirement, not other way around. That image stuck with me, because honestly, it's how a lot of people live. They collect endlessly, notes, links, opinions, books, tabs open, they are preparing for war. But they never stop and ask, okay, which of these actually matters for the decision I need to make? And then author hits you with a very a human problem that most experts, hoarders, not always of objects of information, they don't want to throw anything away because every extra detail feels valuable, prestigious, safe. What if this random fact becomes important later? Maybe. But maybe it's just clutter, wearing a fake mustache and pretending to be inside. And his solution is, brutally practical. Create a limited number of baskets, drivers, put data into them. If something doesn't fit, do not panic. Put it into other stuff pile and move on. And that's such a good rule, because otherwise your brain starts doing what brains love to do, forcing random junk into a neat categories just so you can feel in control, doing random stuff instead of being rational. And then comes one of the most useful parts: grade your confidence. For example, green, yellow, red. Green means you really know. Yellow means you kinda know, but there are holes. And red means stop pretending you don't have enough. And that's such a clean system because it forces honesty. Most people live in a fake green. They call it confidence. Sometimes it's just ego in a suit, because people most of the time don't like to admit that they are wrong, that they don't know something, and they pretend that they know, and living in this stupid loop. And that matters way beyond intelligence work, in business, in relationships, in politics, in hiring, in choosing partners, in trusting someone's promises. A company can pay dividends. That's capability, will they? That's intent. Your friend can help you help with your project. Well, he actually shows up on Saturday morning. Oh, welcome to reality. What I really like here is the humility. Not like a fake, humble brag humility, but like a real humility. The kind that says, maybe I know less than I think. Maybe my clean conclusion is built on yellow data with a green attitude. Maybe the missing pieces matter more than the pieces I have proudly highlighted. And that's the useful immediately. So here's the practical takeaway next time you face like a messy decision. Do not start by consuming more information. Start by asking three things. What are like my key drivers? Which basket does this data belong in? And what color is my confidence really? Not like what you think, but objectively assess your real knowledge about it. Do that, and honestly, you will notice something weird. You may feel less certain at first. Good. And that's not weakness. That's the moment you start performing intelligence and start using it. That's the moment when you stop pretending that you know something and objectively correct yourself and grow. Thank you for listening. Smash the like button, subscribe button, and see you next time.